Well, good morning. Good morning, everybody. We are very excited to be here with you, sharing this hour webinar, Parent Portal, Student Grades and Progress, with you today, Erica Davis and Jennifer Thompson from Student Information Department, and myself, Mariana Ponte from Data Analytics and Support. So before we begin our time together, I want to thank Guilford Parent Academy, not only for trusting us with the content that you're going to see today, but for allowing these opportunity to talk to you, to show you a couple of things that we hopefully we think you will find beneficial. So a reminder that we will have a recording available for you. We will share that via email along with a couple of supporting documents. We ask you today that you follow along with the presentation. We're going to show a couple of systems where grades are housed and assignments. So we know that probably some of you have already access to these systems, but we're asking you to follow along with us because there's a lot of content, a lot of important things for you, and that will help you come up with questions in case you have some. And the invitation to type your question in the question and answer section. And Erica is here to give you some more information about how to do that.
Good morning, all. So there is a live event Q&A session there where you can type in any questions that you have about what we're discussing regarding grades and Canvas and PowerSchool Parent Portal. You'll notice that you have a tab that indicates it's your questions. When you type it there, only you can see it and I can see it until I publish that question. When I do that, everyone gets to see it. And if you like, you even have the option of publishing your questions anonymously. You'll see there's a little box that you can check to make your questions show up under anonymous. At the end of the session, we'll address some of those questions, as many as we can, but we'll take all of the questions and responses to them and make those available to you along with the video after this session is completed. Thank you.
Thank you, Erica. So when we were thinking about today's session, we really wanted to bring something that we found useful. So today we're going to walk you through Canvas and Parent Portal, these two systems. We're going to help you understand how to navigate them in order to support your students as they receive feedback from their teachers during remote learning. So let's begin with Canvas. This system we have found that is the first place. I'm an educator, but I'm also a parent. And as a parent, I have used Canvas to try to get to understand how things are going and how everything should look like in Parent Portal when an interim comes or when report cards come. So to begin, I want to ask you a couple questions. The first one is, what are grades? How would you define grades? So think about it. You can write it down if you have paper and pencil with you, or you can just say it out loud. What are grades to you? And the other question that I have for you is this one. What is their purpose? So again, think about it, say it out loud, or write it down. So I have a story to tell you to kind of think about what grades are and what's their purpose. So Marzano is a researcher in education, and he was trying to write this book called Transforming Grading. And before writing the book, he did a survey. And he listed all the different purposes he thought grades will have. And these are the many purposes that he came up with. And what he did is that he gave this survey to educators in trying to find out what they thought the purpose for grading was. And he got this overwhelming response that grades are for guidance and instructional planning. So what does that mean? What that means is that teachers think, I will use, as a teacher, I use grades to get an understanding of what the performance of my class, my students, to see what they could do, or I use it to guide my future content, my future lesson plans. What is it that I put in front of them? So this really helped him, because what he wanted to do was he wanted to write a book to show educators another purpose of grading, which is feedback about student achievement. So what does that mean? Feedback about student achievement is to really understand that grades help me see what students can and cannot do yet, to be able to communicate that to them, right? So like I mentioned before, I'm a mom. So when I think about grades, I think about a letter. I think about a word or a phrase that gives me an understanding of performance. And I think about a number, right? Whatever that number is that speaks to a grade. And I don't know about you, but immediately after I see a grade I have two sons, both in middle school. So no matter what I see, I immediately interpret that. And it's either good or not good. I praise them for their effort, or I start asking them questions like, what happened here? You could have done better. I've seen you do better before. So, and then it's funny because what tends to happen, we go to court, right? When I start asking them questions and they start defending themselves, but it's hard for me as a mom to pull myself from that conversation and look at an A and say something to my sons like, wow, that's really good. I'm very excited that you understood everything in that quiz, that you were able to answer everything. That means that you're understanding. Or look at that 74 and say something like, what's challenging? What happened? What is it that you had difficulty with? Because maybe he can identify that. He can share it with the teacher or share it with me. So I don't know about you. If you're not like me, I commend you today. But if you're anything like me, today is an invitation to go beyond that number, beyond that letter, beyond that word or phrase that gives me a sense of performance, and dig deeper into grades. Because think about it, what does an A mean, or an excellent? What information is giving you about what your students can and cannot do? Not a whole lot, right? So there are two ways to log into Canvas and to look at information from what the students are working on. The first way that I'm going to share with you is logging as your students with their username and password. So if you do it that way, what you will see is few different icons in here, probably less than what you're seeing right now because I have other things, but this is Canvas. When you click on it, the good thing about it is that when you click on it, you will see several boxes with different courses, one box for each course. And every course, no matter if your student is in kindergarten or 12th grade, you will see this menu. And this menu with 4 buttons, you can see the last one is grades. Once you click on it, it's going to take you to a window like this one. And of course, you can see the title of the course. You can see, you have an opportunity to print it. You can see the overall. But I'm going to walk you through a couple of different good things about this page. And that's the first assignment. Those are all the assignments in blue. In blue means that they are links, so you can to the assignment. And then you can see right here on the right side, once you click on the assignment, you can see a button blue like this apply button. You can see a button right here that says either submit that means that your student is ready to submit that assignment. Or if it could say resubmit. If it says resubmit, it's because the assignment has already been submitted. They turn it in. So I wanted to show you that first assignment, that Core 3 email etiquette, because as you can see the due date, the status of the assignment, which could be late or missing, the score out of the total score. So sometimes you can see these line under the score, and what that could mean is that the assignment has been submitted but not graded. Now teachers they're learning more and more about this system, and I've seen now in place of that line, instead of that line, I have seen a rocket ship. So that little rocket means that, and if you hover over, it'll tell you is the teacher's working on grading the assignment. So that's another information for you to know, okay, my student submitted the assignment, the teacher's just grading. But if you see that this line, like I see in Core 3 email etiquette, that assignment, that's a conversation with our students, right? Did you submit it? Did you forget? What happened here? And again, you can click on the link and truly see if the option of submit is there or if it's resubmit. So the next one that I want to show you is figurative language, because we can clearly see that there's a 0 here, but one other icon that is there is this text box, like a conversation text box. And what that means is that the teacher has made a comment. So that's really good because you can go and click on it. If you click on it, that assignment will expand and will look like something like this. You will have figurative language, the score, the text box for conversation for that comment that the teacher made, and then you can read it. So now I have a better understanding. I know he didn't do it or the teacher doesn't have it, and if he did, she wants or he wants Fernando to send an email to talk about it. So again, little things that the system allows you to, gives you to be able to look for more information. And the last assignment I want to show you is that last one, genre exploration, that clearly has been labeled as missing, but then you can see that it has the total grade out of 100 points. So, but there's another comment right there. So I'm sure if I go there, I will see something like, thank you for turning it in. I don't know. You have the total grade. It was good. I'm pleased with your submission. That's one way to access Canvas with your students' login information. And the other way is to become an observer. To become an observer, what you will have to do is email the teachers that for all the courses. So my advice will be to write one email and send it to all teachers at the same time, that for every single class that your student is taking, and ask them exactly that you would like to become an observer for their class. And what will happen when you do that is that you will receive an email invitation from the system. This is the system generates this email once the teacher have done their part and have added you as an observer. So what you will have to do when you receive that email is that it will prompt you to create an account if you don't have one. So once you register and have your account, then you will be able to log in and see what your students see. Every box means a different class. And then the good thing about it is that once you click on any class, you can, it'll look like something like this. You can, you have many different things that you can do, but one of the good ones is this one, is that you can click on view course notifications. And then with your email, it means that it will help you set notifications for when assignments are due, when assignments are graded, when content has been added to the course, when files have been uploaded, or when the teacher has made announcements. So one important thing to mention here is that the difference between login with your student information and becoming an observer, the only major difference is that you as an observer, you're not able to submit assignments, which makes complete sense, right? Because the assignments are for our students. But other than that, there's not a lot of difference. So that's all for the section about Canvas. If you have questions, you can type them now, and we'll address them at the end of the presentation. And now we're going to continue with Parent Portal. And so for that, Jennifer will be with you.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to share my screen. So give me just a moment. I believe I'm up, so I'm going to go ahead and put up the slideshow. Thank you, Mariana. That was wonderful. So very much detailed. I've learned a lot about Canvas just working with Mariana and seeing it from a different point of view with as a parent and as an educator. I work with PowerSchool Parent Portal, and that has actually been around for several years, as many of you already know. And if you're new to the system, PowerSchool has been, I believe, maybe almost 10 years now in between that time. And Parent Portal's been available as an option for parents to have access to their students' grades as well as their attendance. So Canvas is fairly new, especially with all the online remote learning we've been doing. So that is actually your first point of reference when it comes to grades. But I'm going to show you what Parent Portal is and how to access grades from that perspective. So we're going to go through that. And mine is PowerSchool Parent Portal. The first question really is, what is it? What is PowerSchool Parent Portal? It is a web-based system. It allows you as a parent to have access to your students' academic information, much like Canvas. It also gives you an opportunity to communicate with your students' teachers. When is PowerSchool available, which is really the first questions a lot of parents ask? Well, in a typical school year, it's available on the 11th day of school through the end of June. That gives us time to update the schedules and make some adjustments and get the students in their classes. And by the 11th day of school, things are pretty, we've had our count and everything's a little bit more stable. It does go offline once a month for maintenance, and it does go offline at the end of June through the summer, June, July, and August during the summer months while our schools transition from one school year to the other. Oops, I believe I've gone a little bit too far, so let me go back. No, I'm right. So the question is, how are grades looked upon? Well, they're synced. They go in through Canvas, which Mariana just went over, and from there, they're synced or uploaded to PowerSchool Parent Teacher Pro, Power Teacher Pro, and from there, you as a parent can see it through your portal. So within 24 to 48 hours of the teacher actually clicking the button for syncing, you'll be able to see the grades into Power Teacher Pro. If the teacher actually enters the grades directly into Power Teacher Pro, then you'll be able to see the grades live. Usually this information is live and more up to date towards when report cards are about to be coming out, or definitely right after report cards are posted and stored. So your first point of contact is reference would be Canvas, and then you can watch for Power Teacher Pro and for Parent Portal to connect. All right, well, how do I create an account? That's the next question. Well, you can visit our website, www.gcsnc.com. Click on the purple tab of Academics, and then scroll down to the link of Power Teacher Parent Portal. That's a lot of P's to work with. So once you click on that link, you'll be taken to the Guilford Parent Academy. And this user guide, this information, this page is filled with information of how to create an account and how to access your portal if you already have one. There's a link down on the right-hand corner for new users, pa.gcsnc.com. That'll take you to a page where you'll be able to create your account. However, you do need your student ID, the number for that, and that's usually their lunch number. If you don't know your student's number, you can either ask your student if they have it or visit the school or contact the school, but please make sure you verify that you are the legal guardian of that student. Parent portal's only available for legal guardians, mother, father, or a legal guardian to be able to have access. Step parents and grandparents are not permitted unless they have guardianship. If you're a returning parent, you can click on the login to the PowerSchool Parent Portal link, and it'll take you to the web page to be able to enter your username and your password. Down on the bottom, you'll see 2 printable documents, one for how to create your account, and then the actual document of how to navigate or the actual parent portal once you do have an account, and we'll walk through that as well. If you click on the link that you're a returning user, but you've forgotten your password or username, just click on the blue hyperlink, forgot username and password. It'll bring you up to another pop-up screen where you can enter your information, and an email will be sent to you within 24 to 48 hours. If after that time frame you have not received an email, please contact your school's data manager. He or she can assist you with resetting your password. They are also there to help you to create your password or print out the documents if you need assistance with that as well. But right now we're going to actually go walk through a few of the navigation menu bar, and that is in that document that you can print out on the web page. And this helps you to know where you can find specific information. The table of contents allows you to navigate to what you specifically are looking for. But we're going to walk through the navigation menu bar on some of the important tabs that we think that you would be helpful to you. So when you log into your student's account, when you finally have access, this is what you would normally see. And the first place on the left-hand side is your grades and attendance. Up in the corner, you'll see your students' names. If you have one or more students, their names would be up here at the top as tabs. You can click on their names and it'll take you to their school and their school information. The exclamation icon up in the right-hand corner will give you messages such as how many days until your password expires. There's also a printer icon up in the corner that if you want to print the screen that you are actually looking at, you can print that out right there. When you view this page, you can see that the numbers and the letters and the grades are all blue and hyperlinked. So if you click on one of those hyperlinks, it'll take you to another screen where you can either view the attendance or you can view the assignments and grades. So we're going to look a little bit closer on that at the next screen. So when you click on your grades and views, your attendance view, this is what you would see. And again, it's probably pretty similar to Canvas. It does list your courses, the assignments that the student had, and the score that they had on each assignment. And then that, again, it's like Canvas where you can say, all right, well, are they doing okay with this assignment? What is it that either gave them that high score, or what are they missing an assignment, or are they struggling with a specific topic? This is, again, an avenue for you to be able to dig a little deeper into the grades. When you click on the attendance, it'll open a box to show you the dates that the students was absent and the code. On the attendance screen, you'll notice at the bottom of the screen there is an attendance code reference where you can look to see what 2A stands for or 1R. So 2A, as you see here, is unexcused absence, and that would refer, you can refer to, hey, she was absent, but she was sick. It would remind me, hey, I forgot to turn in a note, or I have a doctor's note. Did the teacher get it, or I forgot to turn it in? That's a way you can either write a note or maintain that doctor's note that you have and have your student take it to the teacher to update the attendance. If you see the code, there's a lot of new codes now, but if the 1R is not an absent. We use that during remote learning to reference that this teacher and the student have made some kind of contact, they've been engaged, so that means present off campus, so that's not an absence. But this is a good way for you to keep track of the attendance being taken. This is updated and can be changed by the data manager as well, so if you have questions regarding that, you can reference to that, and that's pretty live. So once that information is updated or changed within a few minutes, you can see if there is a change or an update with the attendance. High school attendance, they get their attendance taken every single period. So if your student is going in late, they may be marked absent for the first period, but are showing present for the rest of the day, or whether it's leaving or not. Middle school and elementary, their attendance is taken during homeroom, which is right at the beginning of the day. It's only taken one time during the day. So that way you can know, all right, well, who is the homeroom teacher that is assigned to my student? And that's where you would actually write the note. When you write your note, make sure you have your student's first and last name, the date they were absent, and the reason, and your first and last name and the phone number, so that they can contact you in case they have any questions. All right, so we're going to continue down the navigation bar. On the left-hand side, if you click on the word grade history, it'll take you to a screen where you can actually see the history of your students' grades if they've been enrolled with Guilford County Schools. If they are new to our school system and they're coming from a private school or a charter school, their history grade will not show here. This is only for active Guilford County School students. You can click on the year and you can see their history of grades. And again, this would come in handy if you are applying for a magnet school or you want to print out their grades for college courses, whether it's for middle college or sending it to college itself. So this may come in handy for that. And going down the navigation bar, your email notification. Now, the school has an email for you that would go out for parent for ConnectEd, but this does not connect to that. This is completely separate. This is where you as a parent can have notification on your students' attendance or their grades, either daily, weekly, or monthly. And to do that, you would click on the how often do I want this information sent to me? And there's a drop-down bar where you can click how often you want it. You can also click on exactly what you want to be sent to you. If you just want their grades and attendance on a regular basis or assignments, this is where you would update it as well. If you have somebody else that you want to have this information sent to, or maybe you have a different email address, like a work email address you want it sent to, you can update that information in this box right here. That would be able to send to you. When that email does come to you, please remember it's a no reply type of email. So if you reply to it, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to go back to the teacher or the school. It's going to go into a holding field, a holding email box. So if you have questions about specific information, such as the grades, contact the teacher. And if it's attendance, go ahead and reach out to the data manager for assistance on that as well. Email notifications are not available for students. It's only for parents. All right, continuing down the navigation bar, school information. So the next question with those comments, well, how do I contact the school? If you click on the school information, you will notice the school's name and the address, the phone number and the fax. And the new screen is showing that you can actually see who the principal is and their email address as well. So this does come in handy when you do get those notifications and you want to know how you can contact the school. The school bulletin is where your school or the county itself or even the state may post something to give you notification of something that is coming up that you may need to participate in or to be aware of. One of the areas is the maintenance weekends that I mentioned at the beginning that we do have once a month, and those dates are posted to let you know that, like on a Friday to a Monday, that parent portal will be offline. And if we automatically may have an emergency maintenance, that would be there as well. Sometimes we post things about the upcoming online registrations that may be taking place, or DPI may throw up a notification from them so that parents have access to information that needs to be known. So once you click on that button, it does come up in a pop-up screen, and the only way to exit out of it is to click the X up in the right-hand corner, and it will disappear for you. Continuing on the navigation bar to the transportation info screen, you will see this is actually new for this year, and this will help you to know what bus number your student is assigned to and the description of where the pickup and drop off. I believe it's also the time is posted. If you've had an address change and you need to update the information, please contact the school's data manager and provide her a proof of address change, a proof of residency, so she or he can update that information into PowerSchool for you. And that information is automatically uploaded to Transportation Department. Okay, so account preferences is the next link on the menu. And this is where you can update your email for this account. This does not talk to PowerSchool, where they send out emails for you for school or the Connected. This is only for your specific account to access Parent Portal. So if you've had an email change and you need to update it, this is where you would do it. And then you can also update your username and your password. I clicked too fast on that one. Apologize for that. So the next link is the North Carolina options. This is your Family Education Rights Privacy Act, or FERPA. And this is new for this year. If you have a high school student, you would see all three of these questions. If you have only an elementary or a middle school student, you would probably only see one question. And these are asking for your permission to give your students information for the directory, for military contact, and or colleges. So this is where you would update that either yes or no. So a lot of us have mobile apps. We either have a tablet or we have a smartphone where we are on the go and we want to be able to access the information quickly. You can access it by downloading our app, with Guilford County Schools app. And when you access that app, within that, you'll actually see PowerSchool Parent Portal app. PowerSchool Parent Portal does have its own app, which is separate from Guilford County Schools, but our technology department cannot support that. That is a PowerSchool's own app, and that's through DPI. But we have created an app that we are able to put PowerSchool within our app. So we recommend Guilford County Schools app and then accessing PowerSchool Parent Portal through this app. So in conclusion, the guides of how and where and what is all on pa.gcsnc.com, or just visit our main website and click on academics and then click on PowerSchool Parent Portal, and you can find all the information you're looking for there. And if you really would like someone in person to talk to, the data managers have been trained to assist you with PowerSchool Parent Portal. So they would be your really first point of contact. And then if you have questions or concerns about grades, the teachers are the ones that you should contact first. And again, your information for how to contact them can be under school information or your school's directory, or I believe even in Canvas, they have a link to their email address. So that is my part of my presentation, and we are now going to open it up for questions, and I'm going to send it over to Erica.
Great. All right, we got lots of good questions in today, and we'll cover as many as the time permits. So we're going to start with a fair number of questions related to Canvas. So Mariana, you're on deck for some of these. Can you log into Canvas from a separate computer as your student while your student is also logged in to Canvas?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And the answer is yes. Yes, I've done it as a parent too, while they're working, you know, to check, to see their assignments, to get a glimpse of their day or their week. So yes, you can do that.
Great. While you were presenting on Canvas, there was the question, were you displaying the parent's view or the student's view? And that was right before you started talking about Observer.
Right. Is the first, I show two different ways to log in. The first one was student view. So what the students can see, what you will be able to see if you log in with their username and password. And the other one was if you become an observer, but you will be able to see.
Okay. Well, so related to all of that, if you have more than one child and you log in under one of them, can you see the other kids? And if not, will I be able to do so as an observer?
As an observer, yes. If you log in, if you have more than one student, if you log in with, let's say, student A, log in a username, you will only be able to see the courses for that student. You will need login information from student B or C if you're trying to see the courses for another of your students. Yes.
Okay. This parent says, I am getting all of the Canvas emails from my students. Can I stop that and just access Canvas periodically?
Yes, you can. In that view course notification button that I showed, just like you can activate all those notifications, you can stop them. So you just click on them, and probably by default gives you access to all the notifications, but then you will have to go in and cancel what you won't want to see.
Okay. This may be an opinion, but you have certainly plenty of experience to respond to this one. Is Canvas Observer better than Parent Canvas app?
Yeah, I read that question a minute ago, and it's tough to answer because I think you will have to open both and look at what they have and what you can access, which with the two different options, and then you know, it may be that you like one better than the other one. I can tell you what I like, but that doesn't mean that I'm saying one is better than the other one. I couldn't say that. Okay. But I would say it's worth exploring the different options and then see, do you like to see the system through your student email account, login information, or do you like being an observer? Is that enough for what you want to do?
Okay. Can I access Canvas on my computer rather than the app on my phone? Yes,
actually, like with every app, I think, and we had that question in the session on Tuesday, a parent mentioning that he couldn't see some of the features that I was showing, and probably it's because he was accessing through the app. So accessing through a computer probably gives you things that through the app in a itty-bitty phone will be hard to see.
Okay. And what's the link to register with Canvas?
Well, I don't think there's a link to register. If you want to become an observer, I will email the teacher or teachers. Then you will receive that email, and in the email you have access immediately to complete your registration and get your account so you can start being an observer. So that will come, I guess the answer is the link will come in that email that will be generated after you request to become an observer.
All right, great. Jennifer, your turn. Let's talk a little bit about the most common question, one of the most common questions that comes up about Parent Portal. I have one of my students already on my Parent Portal account. I'd like to add another child or more than one. How do I do it?
The best bet, because we have updated our system, is to contact the data managers at your school. Pick one. Where I would, you can obviously look at the one that's already existing. It doesn't matter. What happens is that we have updated the system where you as a parent, all your students are now connected to you into one account. And if that data manager does not see all your students connected to your name, that means they need to consolidate. And once they consolidate, they can add, just click a button and add the student to your account. However, we need you to prove that you are the parent and or legal guardian of the student or students, however you want to add to them. Just, ask the basic questions. So that's where your first, that anything that has to do with Parent Portal Data Manager can assist you.
Okay. I know you addressed this as part of your presentation, but it comes up pretty frequently, so I want to address it one more time. Changing a password.
Under account preferences, that is where you can update your password, and you would make sure if you can access your password, you can do that. If you've forgotten your password, you just click the link forgotten password, and it will send you a temporary password to access it, and you would go under account preferences to update it and change it. If you still can't access it, contact your data manager and he or she will be able to reset your password for you.
Great. All right, a couple of the questions that have come in are specifically about grades. So I'm going to address a couple of those. One person says there's 2 assignments in Canvas and 12 in PowerSchool, and how can that be? Well, Canvas and PowerSchool do not automatically talk to each other. Teachers have to take some steps to sync the grades from one to the other. It goes from Canvas to PowerSchool. It does not, however, go from PowerTeacher Pro, which is the gradebook, in the other direction. So some teachers may opt to simply enter their assignments and grades directly in the gradebook without going through the process of syncing from Canvas to PowerTeacher Pro, which is one of the reasons why it's really a good idea to have both accounts and check them both, because you may have some teachers who favor one of those platforms over the other and will put more information in one place than you necessarily see in the other. So that's always something to bear in mind. And you can always ask the teacher, where are you loading assignments and grades, where the most current and up-to-date information will be, so you'll know where you want to be looking. That being said, I have this question. If I see a grade entered as 1/100, what does that mean? So the second number, the 100, is the maximum score that a student can earn on that particular assignment. And if there's a 1 there, that means they've earned one of those 100 points so far. Does that mean they didn't do anything? I don't know. You would need to ask the teacher what that means. It may just mean they haven't finished grading the assignment, and more information will be forthcoming. The same parent said, what about a dash and then a slash and the 100? That's an assignment that's been set up but has not been graded yet, or they haven't entered the grades yet. So it's just sitting there. It's not affecting the average. It's waiting for the teacher to input some data so that you can get that kind of information. There were some questions about how do I know which assignments will be included in the final average? That's where you really need to talk to the teacher, because each teacher gets to set up their own format as to how their grades are calculated. Some schools have policies that teachers follow. Many do not. They let the teacher sort of come up with their own process. Some do a total points average. Some do category weights where homework is worth so much and classwork is worth a certain amount, tests are worth a certain amount, and all of that should be communicated to the parents by the teachers. And if you're not clear on that, that's absolutely worth a communication with the teacher to find out how that's going to work for your particular student and what those assignments will be, how they'll be calculated in the overall average. It is possible to see some assignments that aren't being included in the average. I do know teachers that will enter assignments that are just their way of doing sort of a quick assessment, a benchmark, where are these students on this particular topic, this particular standard, but they're just doing that as a way of informing themselves so they can plan their instruction moving forward, and they're not necessarily counting it against the student. It's absolutely valid and worthwhile to email teachers when you have questions about that, when you're unsure about the grades that you see and how they factor into the overall average. Let's see, I got a couple of more questions that I want to hit. One person says, I can't log on to Canvas on the computer, even when I use the links in teacher emails. Mariana, do you know anything about that?
Yeah, well, I will refer that issue that you're having to the teacher. They have also people in the district that they can reach out for support when it's technical support. So I would just share that information with the teacher.
Okay. Well, I think this question may get a very similar answer. The parent said, I did not email the teachers to request to be an observer, but I get emails of one of my students' assignments. I don't get any updates for the other student. How is that?
Yes, I'm not sure about that, but I would say if you want to become an observer for your other student, you can go ahead and send that email to the other teacher or teachers and be able to see what an observer can see for that student too.
A parent says, wait, where does a parent access the web-based version of Canvas? All I have is the app right now, and that doesn't allow you to change notifications.
Right, emailing the teacher. Emailing the teacher is the best way to get access to the Canvas version that will allow you to become an observer. Once you get that auto generated email, you will be able to set up your account and see the courses and all that good stuff.
And I have a grade related question. When there is a dash out of 100, is this factored into the average as a 0 until the final grade is recorded? No, it is not. Blank grades do not count as zeros in PowerTeacher Pro. So it's just sitting there doing no harm whatsoever until an actual grade is entered prior to that little slash out of 100. All right, let's see. Oops, one more question came in. Nope, we've addressed it. So I think we've addressed the majority of the questions that have come in. We will compile all of these questions and responses into a document that we'll make available to you along with a recording of the session. Please be sure and go back up to the top of the Q&A and hit that link and put in your name and your email address so that we will be able to get those materials to you once these sessions are completed. So I would like to turn it over now to the Guilford Parent Academy guru, Ms. Funderburk, for our closing remarks.
I would just like to thank our student information and our data analytics team for an awesome job. I'm giving you a round of applause. You know, as a parent, it is hard to tackle every system, every ideology that we need to be aware of when it comes to building relationships with our teachers and ensuring that we're engaged with our students' academic journey. And so for me, I have learned so much as a parent, just being on these sessions on Tuesday and today. And I'm sure that our parents today have learned a lot. I think those questions were awesome questions to help us galvanize a Q&A sheet for other parents to look and determine what those questions mean for them. So I just want to thank you all again for your expertise today, and hopefully we will have more of these live sessions to spread the wealth of knowledge for all of our parents across the district. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.